Another unfinished property in need of some TLC was the 3-bed Victorian home of mother and daughter Abby and Maddy.
I don't want to move. That's basically it. I've been here 33 years. I love my little cottage and I love the village.
Even more so, as she's surrounded by memories of her partner Aid, who tragically passed away 5 years ago.
Since we lost Aid, I've been living in a kind of bubble here. For me at my age as well, it's quite scary, the thought of moving to another house when this has just been like my comfort zone. But the thing for me that's upset me, I guess, is that it doesn't feel like it's comforting me anymore because I'm constantly reminded that it's something we didn't finish together.
Carpenter Aid was in the process of working on the house when he died, and it remains the project he never finished.
Having watched their mum struggle through the grief, Maddy and her brother George, who moved out last year, think a new home would be the positive change Abby needs.
As well as the unfinished kitchen, Aid's plans for the rest of the house were never realised.
Upstairs, the bathroom.
Bathroom is tiny.
It's tiny.
It is tiny.
The dining room, well, it's pretty irrelevant, isn't it? We don't use it.
It's probably the biggest room in the house, but we spend our life walking round the dining room.
And it's not just the inside they're unhappy with.
I do love gardening. There is a slight appeal to something maybe a little bit bigger.
It can feel quite claustrophobic sometimes.
The small courtyard garden sits behind the large dining room on the ground floor, which itself doesn't get much natural light, as it's surrounded by 2 other rooms, a living room to the front and an unfinished kitchen to the back. Upstairs, there are 3 decent-sized bedrooms and that very small bathroom.
Well, it's lovely to meet you both and to be here. Let's start with who wants to love, who wants to list.
So I'm list it.
And I'm love it.
Has this been a thought process which has built and built?
Probably the last, I'd say 5 years or so. We lost my stepdad and I think that put a massive sort of change of perspective.
Aid and I entertained a lot. He was the life and soul of the house. I mean, you know, his voice resonated in every room. So when we lost him very suddenly and very tragically, that kind of...
It altered the house.
It all changed. And, you know, cooking in his kitchen is hard for me. And, you know, it's still been left in the way that he left it.
So as much as you love it, you do recognise that some of it doesn't suit any longer.
Yeah, I just don't feel ready to go.
But I don't think you're ready to go because it's not finished.
Yeah, so if we get it finished...
Yeah, I think once it's finished, I think you'll...
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's homes, it's family, it's everything. It's all tied up.
When we first visited, the cramped hallway led through to a dark and cluttered dining room. The kitchen, partly unfinished by Abby's late partner Aid, has been transformed into a beautiful snug area, and the dining room has been radically redefined to create a spacious modern eating kitchen, perfect for entertaining, with large bifolds opening onto the garden.
I feel like she'd keep the shades on, actually, because it's so bright in here.
It's frying my brain a little bit. It's so different and so light and so wide.
And so not 1 foot bigger.
That space feels so much bigger, doesn't it?
It feels very, very different.
I think it may be the most extreme example I've ever seen of the impact of altering the layout.
By cleverly repurposing the unused dining room, Abby and Maddy are now utilising all of their downstairs space. And where the dining room was once relegated to mere corridor status, by blocking up the lounge door, each room now has a clearly designated purpose. But that's not all. The once tiny bathroom has been extended thanks to space freed up by flipping the stairs, which has also allowed room for a new downstairs loo. All this while only spending just a little over their budget of £60,000. And like the house, the garden hasn't been extended, but with a simple refresh and a new sofa, it's now a more welcoming and sociable space.
We've now created what I imagined I could happily live in on my own, and it just happens to be my home already. But if any circumstance arose or an opportunity, it wouldn't be as hard to sell the house now emotionally as it would have been 2 years ago.
I think that is a fantastic point to make. You're going to love it, but you're now free to list it.
And 8 months since making her decision, Abby is still loving her finished home.
I think I can safely say we're both much happier in the house since all the changes, and especially for Mads, the bathroom. That has made a big difference to us. But obviously this space down here, it's become very sociable. It's very lovely to sit here. It's very hot at the moment, so it's great that we've got the lounge next door, which is cooler, a separate room. But everybody loves this space, and we've had family celebrations here, and it's just been great, really great.